Hello everyone. Our today topic is sustainable development. So in this topic, we shall talk about the definition of sustainable development. So sustainable use and conservation of natural resource, equitable use of resources, common property resources. So these three topics we shall discuss under the heading sustainable development. So how we can define sustainable development? It is defined as meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. So we have to take care of the present and the future generations. As far as the meeting of the sustainable development is concerned, the first meeting of sustainable development was conducted by the United Nations Conference on Human Environment held in Stockholm, Sweden in 1972. After 20 years, the next meeting was conducted on sustainable development, the Earth Summit held at Rio de Janeiro, Brazil in 1992. So the next topic is sustainable use and conservation of natural resources. So two things are there: sustainable use of natural resources and conservation of natural resources. Sustainable use means utilizing natural resource, water, forest, soil, minerals, forest, fossil fuels, biodiversity in such a manner that satisfies present needs without depleting or degrading them for the future. It refers to the utilizing resources at a rate at which they can replenish naturally. That means it has to be in such a way, at such a rate, so that it can be accomplished naturally. It ensures long-term availability of the resources. Examples we can take: solar and wind energy instead of coal, practicing sustainable farming methods like crop rotations and organic farming. So this can be considered as a sustainable use of natural resources. The next is the conservation of resources. Conservation means protecting, preserving and restoring natural resources to maintain ecological balance, prevent overexploitation and degradation of ecosystem. Examples we can take: reforestation and afforestation both should be carried out parallelly. Wildlife sanctuaries and protected areas should be taken care of. So these are the 2 points under this heading: sustainable use and conservation of natural resources. The next topic we can see: equitable use of resources. Equitable use of resources means the benefits from the natural resources such as land, water, forests, minerals and energy should be shared fairly among all the people, both present and future generations. It ensures that no group or region exploits or controls most of the resources while others remain deprived. In simple words, we can say the equitable use of resources means fair distribution of resources for all or among all. What are the key ideas? The idea behind the equitable use of resources is every person has the right to use natural resources for their needs. But this use should be balanced and responsible, keeping in mind the needs of others and future generations. It promotes social justice and helps in reducing inequality and poverty. That is the benefit from the equitable use of resources. Under this heading, we can give some examples about the equitable use of resources. Sharing river water fairly among states or countries. That examples: India's interstate river water sharing agreements, providing electricity and clean water access to both urban and rural area, ensuring tribal and local communities get their share of forest and mineral resources, avoiding over-consumption of energy and food so that others also have enough energy and food. So this comes under the equitable uses. What are the importance of equitable use? Reduce inequality between rich and poor, promote social harmony and peaceful existence, ensure sustainable development by preventing overexploitation, helps in poverty eradication and inclusive growth, protects the rights for future generation. The next topic under the sustainable development is common property resources. What does it mean? These are natural resources that are accessible to all members of the community or a society. They are not owned by any single individuals because it is the common property, but are shared and managed collectively by a group of people, community, or local body. In simple words, CPRs are resources that everyone can use, but no one owns privately. This is like that. So examples of common property resources we can say here: grazing lands, posture use of pastures used by village cattle, community forest or village woodlots, rivers, ponds, lakes, and wells used for fishing, washing, and irrigations. As we can see, even in suburban area or rural areas, the ponds and lakes are used by the all the peoples available in the village. Public parks and playgrounds. This we have normally used to see in the urban area. Wherever the parks are there, everybody can use the playgrounds and the parks. This comes under the common property resources. Village tanks and community managed irrigation canals. Air and atmospheres, you can see these are the global common property. So common property resources, what are its characteristics? Correct. What are the characteristics? It has a common access. That means every member of the community can use the resource. No exclusive ownership. This is also one of the characteristics. No single person claim private rights over it. Shared management, usually managed through community rules or local government. Risk of overuse. Because of open access, CPRs are prone to overexploitation, known as tragedy of the commons. That is the because of open access, that there is a risk of overuse. So what are the problems associated with the CPRs? Overexploitation due to population pressures, deforestation and land degradation, pollution of water bodies. How suppose surface water bodies are going to be used by the villagers for washing their cattle. In that case, the ponds may be polluted. Inequitable use. Some groups may benefit more than the others because varieties of people are there in the village areas. So this type of problems may be associated. So what I'm trying to say that in this topic, the sustainable development, we talked about the definition of sustainable development, what do you mean by the sustainable use and the conservation of natural resource, equitable use of resources, and common property resources. These things we discuss in the today topic. Thank you.